Hi, this is Otep, and you're rocking with Nikrockmetal Inc.
Does she look so much like me? Nobody move, nobody gets hurt. But where's the fun in that? I gotta satisfy the thirst. Nobody move, nobody gets hurt. Now where's the fun in that? Tell the search and flirt.
Hi, I'm Naycee, reporting for Nikrockmetal Inc. We are here at Webster Hall, and we are interviewing Otep before her show tonight. How are you doing? Happy Easter.
Happy Easter, which is a derivative of Ishtar, which is a Babylonian goddess, indeed.
Yes.
So let's all remember that. They stole our holiday. They stole it from the pagans. Indeed, but happy Easter to you as well.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you questions about growing up. Who were your musical influences?
Sure. I didn't really have any musical influences. As a child, I was really more inspired by visual art.
Okay.
So artists like Picasso and Salvador Dali and Max Ernst and even Jackson Pollock and you know, the surrealists, Salvador Dali, you know, folks like that.
Wow.
Yeah, and even political cartoonists like Thomas Nast. Those cats played a big role in pollinating my mind early on creatively.
Yeah. So when did you want to start in music? Like,
I went to a concert with a friend of mine. We snuck in, right? And yeah, and we saw some jackass band playing, and they were awful. They were just terrible. They were drunk. Nobody was playing in the same time signature. Everybody was like, I think they were all playing a different song actually. And they had a singer, and one of them, they had a singer and like another guy, two singers, I don't know, and they were like being insulting to the female fans. And I just thought if those two jackasses could do that, I could do that. I mean, so I told my friend at the time that I'm going to do that, and he didn't believe me. You know, he's like, "Oh, you don't even have a band. What are you going to do?" Right. So a few months later, started a band, and 6 months later, we were signed after 4 shows to Capitol Records.
wow.
And the rest is history.
There's no like female artist that you like, that you admire?
You are pressing for an answer. Okay,
Yes.
Let's see. I like The Doors.
Okay.
I like Nirvana. I like Rage Against the Machine. I like Joey Badass. I like Rocky ASAP. I like Tupac. I like the Notorious B.I.G. I like Wu-Tang. I like Mobb Deep. I like Mazzy Star. I like Steppenwolf. I like Soundgarden. I like
so a lot of male artists.
Radiohead. Well, there's not. You glossed over a few of those people. There's. Are you interviewing me or is she interviewing me?
Sorry.
Well, you know, the thing is, I don't really look for gender.
Okay.
I look what touches me,
Right.
and I look for, you know, if I want to find, usually if I want to find an artist that puts a lot of heart into their music. I mean, you got like Joan Jett. You know, she's a great guitar player, good songwriter. You have artists like, you know, Mazzy Star, and you know, who again, it's lyric driven music, and that's what I like. I like songs that have meanings. I like songs that have messages. And so when I listen to music, though, I'm not specifically going after is this person a male or female. I'm just listening to the music, and that's the same reason when I got into this genre.
Right.
I didn't go, oh, how amazing is it going to be? I'm a woman in an all-male dominated genre, and how horrible that's going to be. You know, what an uphill climb that's going to be. I just did it.
You remind me of Wendy L. Williams from the Plasmatics.
I get that a lot.
Yes,
yeah,
I really like her.
I do too. You know, and I like her. I like the Distillers. I like, you know, she's amazing. I like, I mean, Courtney Love. I mean, when she was still Courtney Love,
Right.
Was pretty remarkable. You know, yeah. So there's that.
All right. So I want to know, why is Hydra your last album, and what is the next chapter for Otep?
Well, we get a lot of people asking us about that, and for me, the record just came out. You know, it didn't exist 6 months ago. There were no songs, there were no lyrics, there was nothing. It was just it was empty. It was vacuous. You know, there was nothing there. So for me, it's just started.
Okay.
You know, so the video just came out about a month ago. It's already been flagged on YouTube for inappropriate content.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah. Well, it's flagged not for the firearm, not for the the gun that is in this woman's mouth.
Sexual content.
It's between the love, the suggestive
between
two women.
Right.
Yeah, which I find, offensive. But it was a deliberate subtext that I wanted in that video because I wanted to challenge that. It was like a sociological study, or perhaps it was an anthropological study. But I wanted to challenge those phobias that we have in our culture that say that we reject love and embrace violence.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you about your video, Apex Predator. Can you?
Good segue. That was good. That was nice.
Thank you.
Yes. Well, the video visually follows the sort of the chronology of the song, and I was inspired by like American Horror Story Asylum second season, and The Walking Dead, The Shining, all these really eerie flicks that I wanted to take that sort of psychological tension and put it in the video.
Okay.
So we shot it in an abandoned hospital in Boyle Heights in California. If anybody knows Boyle Heights, just Boyle Heights alone is kind of gnarly, but an abandoned hospital in Boyle Heights, it's even better. So we had I wanted the atmosphere, the building itself to sort of be a character,
Yeah.
And then. Again, then within all of that's going on is this subtext about love versus violence and that sort of disparate, savagery that exists within all of us.
All right.
Yeah.
Who is the Hydra character?
Who is she?
Yes.
She is a person that I've created.
Okay.
I think part of her personality exists within us all, and so. I try to display that. We all kind of have that innate primal thing within us, that savage that exists within us. We just have moral codes that stop us from doing the things that she does. So I wanted to know what that was like, not to have those moral codes. Against someone who, say, for like Voyeur, for example, was written about an actual event. There was this guy who had posted videos on YouTube and LiveLink about he would torture and murder animals. Little household pets.
You're an animal activist. I know that you're very passionate about that.
Yeah, I am. And, well, I think that there's a purity to the love, the unconditional love between a person and their companion animal.
Right.
Then even goes beyond what human interaction is, because we all have our own self-interests and all these, ego and all that shit, and they don't really have that, They just love you. They don't care where you are, who you are, what you do, where it is.
They just want to be loved.
They want food and love. That's it.
Right, exactly.
Companionship and love, and that's it. And food, feed them, right?
Right.
So I just wanted to see what that was like, and to be able to turn that bit of my psychological self off and see what happened. And what came out was the story that was started. Because Hydra started as a story, like a short story.
Yeah, what is the theme of...
It's a concept album, and it's based on this story I've been writing for about 2 years. And so when I started writing this record, I noticed, hey, this reminds me a lot of the story I'm writing, so she must be writing it. So I started to just allow her to take over and navigate. So, yeah. So
one of your most memorable videos is the Pitfall video. Can you talk about that and why? I guess that's a fan favorite.
It's one of the fan favorites. Ghost Flowers is a fan favorite. Pitfall, I think I always wanted to. Fight Club is one of my favorite films. It's one of my favorite books. Great movie. Yeah, it's a great film, and so it was based on that.
Okay. Can you quote like one of your favorite quotes from your poetry?
Well, from my last book, there's a poem called "Crawling Up," and I think that one is one of the best things I've ever written. It's one of the things I'm most proud of, so I would suggest people checking that one out. But also there's Caught Screaming, which is it's my second book, which seems to be a big fan favorite as well. And then before that was a book called Little Sins. And what's interesting about Little Sins is it came out as an ebook and was lost for a long time. And then a fan found it online for me, and I was able to re-upload it that way. But check it out, you guys. Yeah, you can just Google it. Otep Books. Otepbooks.com. No, I'm just kidding.
Now, you've said before in the past that you don't want to be called or labeled a rock star.
No.
Why is that?
I think I don't know. It just seems
pretentious?
It just seems very extremely pretentious.
Yeah.
I'm a rock star. What does that mean? I'm an artist. I mean, that's why I
Right.
want to create art. I don't want to be some jackass who looks back at my career and look at all the compromises I made just so that I can look at stare at a pile of money.
Right.
You know, I want to be able to look back on a life of art that is meaningful and it means something to me and has touched other people and found other people like me. And if I can do that, then I'm doing my job.
Now I want to talk to you about your fan base, the tribe.
Yes.
Yes. Can you talk about that?
There are fans.
Yeah.
We call them the tribe because everybody's welcome. I did an interview with somebody a couple of weeks ago, and they said that we have more girls at metal shows than they've ever seen. And to me, that means, I said, well, you probably, if you look around, you'll notice that there's also more, there's all different types of people. We have a very diverse audience. We have different races, different sexual preferences or orientations, excuse me. We have different, very diverse folks there. And it's because everyone feels safe with us. They feel comfortable. They can come and be themselves. They don't have to worry that someone's going to try to bully them or pick on them. I mean, we're still a savage lot, but we're an inclusive savage lot.
Okay. Now, I know you're an activist for the LGBT community.
I am.
And people look up to you as a role model. Like, do you think, like, since in the music industry there's so much discrimination against gay or lesbian artists, is it important to have a voice to speak out about that? I mean, I know you do.
Sure, I encourage everyone to. Because the more that you hide it, the more it makes people think there's something wrong with it.
Right.
And, it's been tough for me to be an out lesbian in the metal community. It's been an uphill
You haven't
battle.
always been receptive.
Not always.
Right.
And, I didn't really care. I mean, I just said, look, this is who I am. I'm blonde, I got green eyes, I got freckles, and I'm Irish. So why should I hide any of that? And I'm right-handed.
Right.
Why should I hide any of that? It's stupid,
Right.
I'm not here for a popularity contest. I'm here to, to speak out for people that were like me,
Right.
or that felt like I did. But, it's changing, and we
Yes.
see a lot of that. We see a lot more people coming, and
Thanks to you.
Well, thank you very much. I don't know if I had any hand in that, then I'm proud that I did. But it is nice to see people coming out and more people coming out and not hiding it. It used to be, hey, Otep, hi, nice to meet you. This is my boyfriend, and that kind of thing. And now it's like, hey, here's my boyfriend, here's my husband, here's my wife. It's like it's the nicest thing, and nobody's afraid or nobody picks on them or nothing. It's just this really great inclusive family, and it feels really good. We still have a lot to fight for.
Exactly.
We still have a lot to fight for, but it's getting better.
So you're a member of the Human Rights Campaign?
I've worked, yes, indeed, I have worked with HRC, Equality California, Equality Texas, also GLAAD. I was nominated
Yes.
by GLAAD, so we've worked with. I just want to help whoever I can help. If the little bit of notoriety that I have, if I can direct that and shine a light on something that'll get people worked up and want to fight for equality, then I'll do it.
So what are your thoughts right now, since right now seems to be in the headlines, marriage equality?
Well, there's two things. One, I think that the Supreme Court should overturn DOMA. I think DOMA is unconstitutional. The 14th Amendment makes sure that all citizens are protected equally under the law. Which means you can't separate people and say, well, she's gay or he's gay, so they're different. Well, you tax me the same. I pay the same taxes as a straight person, but I don't have the same rights. That's taxation without representation. That's what started this whole country.
Right.
But also, while everyone was up in arms about gay marriage and the fight over gay marriage, President Obama quietly signed that genetically modified food bill into law, which we've always been. It's always been there, but I think this lessens the restrictions. So there always seems to be something really giant social, cultural change shifting happens, and while they're doing that, the government seems to go behind our backs and does deregulate something for these corporations. And genetically modifying our food is very, very dangerous.
Right.
This is what we put in our bodies. This is what feeds us.
Right.
So, I'm glad people are paying attention to the marriage issue. I want them to. I think everybody needs to say, look, I don't care, if someone has the right to marry. We're talking about love. And if anybody's ever been in love, they can't control who they love. Even when you hate that person, you still love them. And you get drunk and you text them something. You wake up the next morning, you're mad at yourself because you texted them. Oh my God, what did I do? You know, you can't control that. You can't control that you think about them all the time. You can't control that you're in love with a bad person. You know, you can't, it's love is love. You can't control it. So how can they legislate that? That's ridiculous. It's two consenting adults. Why shouldn't they be able to get married? And we're talking about a civil union, no matter who gets married, heterosexual or homosexual. It's a civil union. Because you can't just get married in a church. You still have to get legal documents from the government. And all they're asking is for the government to recognize it. Say, I want to go to the justice of the peace, and I want to bind my life to somebody else. Good on you. Good luck. Have fun. Do your thing. But for them to say, well, I don't like it, I disagree with it because it offends my religious beliefs. Well, then let's pick apart those religious beliefs and see what other things that you're not doing. If you're wearing a polyester blend, you're committing an abomination according to Leviticus. If you eat shellfish, you like your shrimp, you like your lobster steak combo from the Sizzler, you are an abomination according to Leviticus, the same Leviticus that says that man shall not lie with another man. And if you really break that translation down, what he's saying is that men should not be subservient to other men as they are, as women are to men. It's really what it's saying. Because back then, women were considered property. Marriage was about a transfer of property. And we were the property. Women were the property. That's why we don't have last names. You know, your last name is either your father's last name or your mother's father's last name. Or your husband's last name. Women don't have last names because we were considered property of the man. So we're still fighting for that too. Women's rights, you know, it's the 21st goddamn century. You know, the fact that we're still fighting for women's rights and equal rights in this country is ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
So gay isn't really a choice, like what people say.
I don't think it's a choice. I mean, it's not a choice for me. You know, I'm attracted to women. I can't help it. I mean, look at them, right? I mean, who wouldn't be, right? But, you know, some gay men aren't. And I think, honestly, I think that biologically humans are probably all born, the majority are bisexual. I believe that. And I'll tell you why. Because we all start from a female template. That's the reason why men have nipples. Because nipples serve only one purpose. Besides a prurient purpose, of course. But besides that, they serve another purpose, and that is biological, and that is to feed the young. So it starts out female. So, of course, why not? Wouldn't we think that there would be something left over from that once you're born out of your mother? You know, so I think true heterosexualism and true homosexualism are probably very, very rare. It happens, but it's very, very rare. So we're fighting something that's our own nature. You know, it's our own spirit. You know, why do that? And again, if it didn't say, there is no, in the Constitution, and there is no ifs or ands or any of that, it says that all should be treated equally under the law. Unless or except. There's none of that. It says all citizens are treated equally under the law. You don't like it? Too bad. Talk to the forefathers, you know.
Like, I see a lot of people, like gay and lesbian couples, fighting for their rights because I think, like, especially if you've been together with your partner for a long time, they can't get the benefits that, you know.
Well, the couple that started the fight in DOMA right now, they've been together for 30 years. And when her partner died, she was stuck with this an estate tax. Which she wouldn't have been stuck with if it was a man that had died. You know? So, you know, that is inequality in the law right there. And it's just silly. There are many gay couples that have been together longer than Newt Gingrich and his 3 wives. You know, and he's, you know, one of the biggest jabberjaws about the sanctity of marriage. Give me a break, man. You know, he doesn't believe in that. He's just saying whatever he thinks is going to get him elected or get him a big paycheck.
So I want to know about something that's always been talked about is bullying. And, you know, a lot of young kids have been bullied, you know, and it just seems to happen so much. What are your thoughts about that, on that topic?
Well, bullying, I think bullying's been around forever. It's not going to go anywhere. I think that, you know, it's just part of our nature to subdue what we consider weak or what we think is maybe secretly better than us, you know, so then we want to pull it down so we can't shine brighter than we can. That's usually the mentality of a bully. I just tell people, like, look, whatever's going on in your life right now, that's just a page in the book. It's going to be a chapter in the book. You know, just keep going, keep living. It gets better, you know, and you get better and they stay the same. You know, you could look at any classic bully situation and those bullies are still where they're at. wherever they were. And most of those other people, I mean, you know, Steve Jobs was fucking bullied. You know, Bill Gates was bullied. Now look at him.
I think we've all been bullied.
Well, when I was a kid, they made fun of my voice. You know, people made fun of my deep voice. I had the same voice when I was like 4 years old.
Right.
And now look at me. You ain't laughing now, are you?
Exactly.
Buying my records is what you're doing. But, you know, you find what's unique about you and you stay strong. You know, you just keep swinging. We're warriors. That's what we do.
So one thing I've noticed, and I think we've all respected you, being the fact that you haven't had to sell sex to sell records. Like, how do you feel about women who have to subject themselves to show skin to sell records? Because, I mean, you've never had to.
I think that's a choice.
Pressure.
I think that's a choice they make.
Right.
I mean, I'd probably be a lot more popular if I did that. You know, and I'd probably be a lot more popular if I did a lot of things. But I don't do them.
Right.
You know, I'm sort of go down with the ship kind of captain, you know.
Right.
But
and I think that's why people like you.
I think there people enjoy that sort of rebellion, and I appreciate that. I've always had that kind of spirit, though, you know. And sometimes I got to be careful not to burn my ships, but burn the other ships. You know, that's important. That's an important lesson to learn.
Right.
I think that women. I don't think women should have to do that, but I know some do, and I know some do it simply because they don't care about anything else. They just want to be popular. They just want to sell records. They just want to be famous. Right. And I think that's you know, absurd. If I want to see that, you know, I can go to any strip bar in any country, in any city, anywhere in the world, and see that. It's like nothing special. There's nothing special about you, and you know it. And that's what's so sad about it. But it sets a standard for women. You know, it sets a standard that's all we're good for. That's all we are, is just to look at. You know, there's nothing inside. There's nothing deep in there.
Being objectified.
Indeed.
Right.
And I think that's sad. You know, but you know, let me say that, I mean, I also, I think that it's important that you look your best. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. Let's not, you know, I'm not saying that you should just be like, I'm not taking care of myself. I'm not going to dress up and look nice. You know, I mean, do that, all that. But you know the difference. There is a difference. You know, people know a difference. They know the difference between, like, showing it off just for that reason, you know, for deliberately trying to get attention just for that. And I think that it devalues the stock of all of us and everything that we have to do. I mean, in my world, if I had shown a little bit more or whatever, they probably would, you know, I would get more tours that other bands get that I don't get. You know, that because they don't want, you know, they know, oh, well, at least I can see that. At least I can see some titties. You know, at least I can see some, you know, some leg. At least I can see that, you know. And with me, it's like, oh, shit, they're going to blow us out of the water when they play on stage with us. Damn, well, we can't have that. That's been my experience with every festival, every tour I've ever done. The headliners and so forth usually get a little jealous of what we are capable of doing, and I'm sorry, I'm not. And sometimes they even ask me to turn it down. Yeah. Can you tone it down on stage? You're getting a little too good out there. And I always tell them, yeah, sure. No, I'm not.
Well, you're a true artist, so you just...
Well, that's very kind of you. Thank you.
I want to ask you about, since today we're in a digital revolution, we've got electronics and gadgets. What do you think about social networking, social media? Do you think that's a positive or a negative?
I do. No, I love it. I mean, before there was social media, I was on message boards and websites and all that stuff, talking to fans, and there was actually, you know, something pretty cool about those old message boards. Sometimes, you know, we used to do poetries, and I'd start a poem and let people finish it, and then we'd have this whole thing, like 30 pages of just writing, and we got these like fiery debates over politics. You know, this was back during the Bush years, and I was telling everybody that he was using our country like a diaper, and there was people like, but you got to support the troops. I said, I support the troops, but I don't support the president because he's making bad decisions. Anyway, but then Twitter showed up, and then you know, or Facebook showed up. MySpace actually was the first, wasn't it? Woo.
Right, absolutely.
Okay, so MySpace showed up, and that was like, wow, that's pretty cool. We can share music and everything in one spot. And then Facebook came along, destroyed MySpace, and then Twitter came along, and now I'm on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, Facebook, Foursquare,
Flickr.
Flickr. I'm not on Flickr.
Oh no,
I'm on Flickr. I don't use it. I don't utilize it.
Right.
But that's good. You know that. Yeah. Flickr's great though. I do have a Flickr account. Okay. I should tie my Instagram to it. Yeah.
How do you select like people that open up for you that go on tour with you?
Well, I don't normally have much to say about that. I usually just tell my agents I would like female-fronted bands, please.
Right.
Because female-fronted bands don't get a lot of shots in our industry.
Okay.
And if I'm a headliner, then at least I'm in a unique position to give those slots away to, or to open them up to female-fronted bands.
Okay.
And so the agent usually comes back with who's available and you know, who's willing to go out on this tour at this time and all those kind of things. So I don't really have much say in who we get to go with us. I just know that I want female-fronted bands with us.
Right.
That's been the habit lately.
It's like female power.
Well, again, because we
Yes.
don't get many tours.
Absolutely.
We don't get many opportunities because they don't, you know, if they don't, some of these bands and some of these festivals, if they don't think they can fuck them, then they don't take them. And so, I mean, that's just reality. Y'all don't like it. My manager's probably going to kill me for saying all this reality, all this truth, but it's true.
Right.
You know, why I got to be quiet now? I'm on 10 years and 6 record, bitches. I can say what I want.
So now I know that you use that word destroy a lot in your music.
Destroy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And your tour.
Seduce and Destroy is, well, I think it's a title of a song that we had.
Yes.
And it's really, I was going through a really bad breakup at that time, and that's how I felt. I felt I had gotten seduced and destroyed. But,
So it's personal?
No, I'm kidding. It's, it's really, it's about, I think, the, what art does to people.
Right.
You know, it seduces them, it destroys their perceptions, it destroys their realities, and from that births a new perception.
Okay. Now, where can people find you?
I'm on the Facebook, I'm on the Twitters, I'm on the Tumblrs, I'm on the Instagrams. You can find me anywhere. I'm on the YouTubes. Just Google me.
Right.
Google me well, and then take me to dinner. All right.
Now, do you have a message to your fans that are watching this?
Mental. I'm going to send you a mental. Yeah.
All right, Otep, thank you so much. It's been stimulating conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you.